Hi everybody, today we're going to talk about how to add a drop shadow to your digital element, and it could be any kind of element. It could probably even be a photo, and I'm using Photoshop CS3, and I don't know if it works in earlier versions. Feel free to leave me a comment and let me know, but in Photoshop CS3 adding a drop shadow is so incredibly easy that I just had to share with you, because in case you didn't know, I wanted to make sure you knew how to do it, because it is so simple. So what you do is, here I have an element here that's my number 24. This is one of the elements that I gave for free a couple weeks ago, and you'll see that I actually added a new layer that was just white. So normally when you open it, this is what it looks like, and I just put the white there so it'll be easier for you to see. But what I'm doing is I'm selecting the layer that has the number 24 in it, and that's where I want to add the drop shadow. So what you do is you double click on anywhere in the layer, not the name, but anywhere else. You double click on the layer and you'll see this layer style window come up, and lo and behold, the very first option is called drop shadow. So you click on that option and you'll see automatically right away there is a drop shadow that's in there, and that's all you really need to do, unless you want a certain different set of features. So what you can do is you can play with your blend modes and actually see different changes. So see, if you do lighten, the drop shadow not so great. So the default is multiply. You can leave it just at that. You can change the opacity so the shadow is darker or lighter. You can change the angle at which the shadow is dropping, so it can look like the sun is coming from different angles. You can actually change the distance so that the shadow looks like it's far behind or just closer. And you can change the spread so it looks thicker or thinner. And you can change the size, so it could get really big, which will make it blurry, or it could get really small, or anything in between. And you can also change the contour. That generally changes the shape of the shadow itself. If you don't know what you're doing, I would just leave it as is. And you can add noise, which is kind of cool. See, it creates these funky effects, a little bit like chalk effect sometimes. So that's it, and then you hit OK, and there's your drop shadow. And you'll see right here it added an effect. That's where Photoshop shows you layer effects, and if you want to turn them off, you just click the little eye and it turns it off, and if you click it back on, it turns the effect back on. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this, and feel free to leave me a comment if you have